you mind if I join you? I suggest you stand up. You don't want to mess with Boyka.
Stand. You stand up.
Boyka, huh? Now what kind of bitch name is that?
You were a great champion, I know. Long time ago. But in here, I am the champion. And you are just my I'll beat you with your own game. Fists only.
Just don't bleed on me too much.
The film opens with a confrontation between two underground fighters, Yuri Boyka and Arkady Davich, set within the confines of a Russian prison. The prison warden and officials facilitate these matches in collaboration with a mob boss named Gaga, who engages in substantial side betting for personal gain. Boyka ultimately overpowers his opponent, reinforcing his status as the only fighter with an unblemished record. Meanwhile, former boxing champion George Chambers arrives in the Russian Federation with his manager, Phil, to attend several boxing events. Following a decline in his professional career, Chambers now relies on advertisements and commercials for financial support. After completing a commercial shoot, he returns home, only to be ambushed by criminals who knock him unconscious before fleeing. Subsequently, police discover a packet of cocaine concealed in his Bible, leading to his immediate arrest and incarceration. Upon his arrival at the prison, Boyka approaches Chambers with evident animosity. Warden Markov welcomes Chambers, expressing admiration for the fighters and informing him of the prison's resident hero. However, Chambers dismisses this information, indicating that he does not plan to remain long. He is then instructed to take a shower but refuses due to the frigid water temperature. In an attempt to resist the order, he confronts the prison guards, though they easily overpower him, forcing him to comply. As he makes his way to his cell, another inmate throws urine at him, claiming it is a gift from Boyka. Angered by this act, Chambers retaliates, but the guards intervene. Chambers shares his cell with Stephen Parker, a British inmate struggling with drug addiction. The following morning, Stephen cautions Chambers about the potential consequences of remaining inactive. However, Chambers believes that since his stay will be brief, he need not adhere to any rules. Shortly thereafter, he attends lunch, where he attracts attention from other inmates.
man. What the fuck, man? You blind too?
Do you mind if I join you?
Meanwhile, Boyka and his associates enter the dining area, causing immediate fear among the inmates, who promptly rise to their feet. However, Chambers remains seated, displaying indifference due to his affiliation with Hustlers University.
I suggest you stand up. You don't want to mess with Boyka.
Stand. You stand up.
Boyka, huh? Now what kind of bitch name is that?
You were a great champion, I know. Long time ago. But in here, I am the champion. And you are just my bitch.
Leading to a confrontation between the two, which is quickly interrupted by the guards. Later, Chambers' manager, Phil, visits him and informs him that he has contacted the American embassy, indicating that Chambers may face a month-long wait for his release. This news frustrates Chambers, who insists that Phil secure a top American attorney to expedite his release from prison. While Phil does not make any definitive promises, he assures Chambers that he will do everything possible to find the best legal representation and requests his patience during the process. Meanwhile, Gaga approaches Warden Markov, offering him money and expressing his desire for an upcoming fight between Boyka and Chambers. It is revealed that Gaga orchestrated Chambers' arrest to facilitate his participation in the fighting competition he is sponsoring against Boyka, the reigning champion. In another incident, Steven is being harassed by some of Boyka's men. Steven explains that the prison is controlled by a Russian mob led by Gaga and emphasizes the importance of adhering to their rules and procedures. However, Chambers asserts that he handles such situations in his own manner and is unafraid of anyone. After learning that Chambers has defeated his men, Boyka confronts him again in an attempt to instigate a fight, but the guards arrive just in time to separate them. That evening, Boyka participates in a match against another opponent. After decisively defeating his opponent, Boyka challenges Chambers once more, but Chambers remains unresponsive. Following the fight, Warden Markov approaches Chambers with a proposition. He offers the opportunity to participate in a match in exchange for an early release. However, Chambers declines the offer immediately. In response, Markov orders him to clean the sewage as a means of pushing him to his breaking point and compelling him to agree to the fight. Chambers refuses to comply, throwing down the shovel despite the guards threatening him with a knife. At that moment, an elderly man named Krot arrives in a wheelchair and intervenes, sparing Chambers from further humiliation. Steven informs Chambers that Krot was once a commando in the Russian army who killed a prison guard. resulting in his life sentence. He points out that Chambers is fortunate, as he has the option to accept Boyka's challenge and secure an early release. However, Chambers declines once more, stating that he intends to leave soon regardless. Later, several of Boyka's associates confront Stephen, threatening him for failing to provide narcotics. They attempt to attack Chambers as well, but he successfully defends himself with Krot's assistance.
Would bring you a message from Boyka.
Unfortunately, the guards soon arrive, blaming Chambers for the disturbance and subsequently placing him in solitary confinement in the sewers. Some time later, Krot brings Chambers soup and bread, advising him to cease his resistance against the prison mob. He encourages Chambers to comply with their demands in order to facilitate a smoother departure from the facility. Shortly thereafter, a few prison guards arrive to escort Chambers outside to meet Gaga. Gaga asserts that he could have been released earlier had he agreed to fight Boyka. When Chambers mentions that his manager, Phil, is making considerable efforts to secure his release, Gaga reveals that Phil is also involved in the process and has arranged a contract with him for financial gain. After enduring such humiliation and feeling betrayed by his trusted manager, Chambers realizes he has no option but to accept Boyka's challenge. In the following days, both Chambers and Boyka dedicate themselves to rigorous training in preparation for the impending fight. Meanwhile, Boyka's associates once again confront Stephen, requesting that he undertake another significant task during the match. The fight between Boyka and Chambers eventually commences.
I'll beat you with your own game. Fists only.
Just don't bleed on me too much.
During the intermission, one of Boyka's associates approaches Chambers' cornerman, Stephen, and substitutes Chambers' water with a version laced with sedatives. Unaware of the tampering, Chambers consumes the water during the break. As a result, his vision becomes impaired, and he loses control in the second round. Chambers eventually regains consciousness after the match, at which point Krot informs him that he was drugged and reveals that Stephen was complicit in the act. Overcome with anger, Chambers rushes to confront Stephen in his cell, only to find that Stephen has already taken his own life, leaving behind an apology note addressed to him. Chambers accuses Boyka of drugging him and demands another fight. However, Boyka is unaware of the situation and dismisses the allegation, asserting that he would never engage in such a cowardly act. In the meantime, Markov arrives and instructs Chambers to return to his cell. Frustrated by the ongoing mistreatment, Chambers loses his temper and violently assaults Markov. The prison guards intervene, restraining Chambers and punishing him by binding him to a pole in the frigid weather. Meanwhile, when Boyka confronts his associates regarding the drugging of Chambers, they admit to having acted on Boyka's behalf. Infuriated by their actions, he retaliates by killing 2 of his own men for their disgraceful conduct. In another part of the prison system, Phil meets with Gaga to inquire about Chambers' release date. Instead, Gaga offers him additional money to leave the country and forget about Chambers, an offer Phil accepts eagerly. However, his satisfaction is short-lived as he is shot and killed by one of Gaga's men immediately after exiting. Back in prison, Chambers endures the harsh cold outside. The following morning, other prisoners come to his aid, providing him with food and warm clothing to alleviate his suffering. This act of solidarity infuriates Markov, who gathers those prisoners who assisted Chambers and demands they step forward. To his astonishment, all the prisoners comply. Observing the situation, Markov imposes a punishment on all the prisoners involved by forcing them to remain outside in the frigid temperatures. Upon learning about Chambers' treatment, Gaga reprimands Markov for his harsh approach. Concerned for Chambers' well-being, he instructs Markov to return Chambers to his cell and offers an apology for the events that transpired. Gaga then encourages Chambers to participate in one final match, assuring him that victory will lead to his release. Left with no alternative, Chambers consents to the proposal and requests that Gaga provide warm clothing for all the prisoners to alleviate their suffering from the cold. Subsequently, Croat approaches Chambers to express his gratitude for securing the coats. As a former soldier, Croat offers to assist Chambers with his training over the next few days. One evening, after their training session, Chambers inquires about a photograph of a young girl displayed in Croat's room. Croat explains that the girl is his niece, whom he has not seen in 19 years. He shares that he was wrongfully imprisoned for robbery, a crime committed by his brother. Although initially sentenced to 4 years, he attempted to escape due to the oppressive conditions, resulting in the accidental death of a guard and his own permanent leg paralysis from being shot. Croat reveals that his real name is Nikolai and advises Chambers to leave immediately after winning the fight without looking back. The highly anticipated rematch between Boyka and Chambers commences.
Boyka, make him wait. But why you don't use more new technique?
I'm working on it.
Fight! Do you understand me, George?
I am the champion.
What are you waiting for?
The bell.
Following his victory over Boyka, in accordance with their agreement, Chambers is released from prison. Later, Gaga provides him with his share of the winnings from the fight and requests a photograph of the two of them, mentioning that his son is a great admirer of Chambers. Chambers respectfully declines, expressing that he cannot overlook Gaga's previous actions and stating his desire to leave immediately. Later, Chambers provides Markov with the funds necessary for Croat's release from prison. As the film concludes, Chambers accompanies Croat to a train station, where Croat is joyfully reunited with his niece after a prolonged separation. Croat expresses his gratitude to Chambers for the remaining funds that will aid him in rebuilding his life, while Chambers conveys his appreciation for Croat's assistance and guidance throughout their journey.